Hey, look at yourself. Yes, that's you on the train.
Oh yes, that's me, but who are all the others?
Only the rest of mankind. More than 7 billion of us. The number is increasing so fast one loses track of it.
Wow, it seems we are going pretty fast.
You bet we do. Just look at the belching smoke we pump into the atmosphere. We have round about 200 locomotives, they call themselves countries, powering us ahead into a bright future.
Bright future? Isn't that a wall looming in front of us?
You bet it is. Our best scouts, they call themselves scientists, have known about it for more than 50 years.
Well, nowadays you don't have to have eagle eyes to see it. It's so big and scary, I wouldn't want to crash into it.
Neither do I. That's why I call it the Wall of Horrors, as it would mean a collapse of the world as we know it. Floods, fires, and not just the death of a multitude of species, but the death of whole ecosystems from corals to forests, the ecosystems we need for our own survival.
That really sounds horrible. Lucky that we have known about the danger for so long. We surely have stepped on the brakes to avoid hitting the wall.
Sorry, but we really talked about the problems. Hard discussions we had, and some train drivers have actually really started to put their feet a bit less hard on the gas pedal. Though I have to admit that others have really floored their engines, and our speed has increased quite a bit.
What? You want to tell me we're speeding up to hit the wall? Are we crazy or suicidal?
Yeah, but things can always get worse, because nature is behaving so stupidly and our track is all downhill from now on.
What do you mean?
Oh, imagine that just because we heat up the planet a little bit, the sea ice is melting, and instead of reflecting the heat of the sun back into the outer space, the heat is now absorbed by the water that used to be covered by the ice, and the water is absorbing the heat, making the planet hotter, melting more ice, making the planet hotter, melting more ice, etc. I think you are getting the point. And the forests, instead of sucking the carbon out of the atmosphere, are burning in the hotter, drier climate, heating up the planet, starting more forest fires, and so on. It is truly downhill from here on.
I'm shocked. I'm speechless. I want to pull the emergency brake. Where is it?
Well, we have found a kind of brake, but it works really slowly by sucking the smoke back out of the atmosphere. But for some reason nobody wants to use it. I guess they think it's too expensive, but anyhow it will not stop us from hitting the wall. It needs too much time to work.
But aren't we considered a very clever species? Aren't we inventing real important stuff like gadgets that switch off the light on command so that we don't have to get off the couch, or cars that drive us around while we sleep? Can't we invent stuff that really helps mankind and sucks more smoke back in, or come up with a real brake?
You forget that all the clever minds are so busy with important things, like enjoying life as much as possible with all the money they have earned with their brilliant ideas. Why should they help the rest of us? Oh, they will, and they will regret it. But the joke is that we do not really have to invent an emergency brake, because we have already known about it for quite a while. But some people said it is too dangerous to use a brake, as you never know what could happen when you use it.
You are kidding. You are kidding me. You must be kidding me. You must. This is crazy. We are wasting our time with futile discussions with old men who don't want to take their feet from the gas pedal and are afraid to use a brake, and all the while we're risking the future of mankind and the whole planet. This is nuts. I will pull the brake now. Just in case you're not ready to end your future as local on a runaway train, help us to pull the emergency brake. Put your name, or better even your face, behind our push to stop the nonsense and save our planet and its ecosystem, on which our future survival and prosperity rests. A stable climate is one of the most basic human rights and is precondition for the life on this planet as we know it. What the world needs is a comprehensive climate stabilization program that makes sure that the world never exceeds the 1.5 degrees. Scientists have agreed on as the absolute last bearable upper limit for global warming, and it cools it back down to the temperature last seen at the end of the 20th century. Such a program must rest on 3 pillars. Step 1. Stepping off the gas. That means reducing greenhouse gas emissions as quickly as possible. Second step. Slow break. Sucking the gases out of the atmosphere with CO2 would linger for 150 years. Otherwise, to reduce their levels to pre-industrial times and store it underground, where by the way they could become useful for mankind, again when the next ice age comes, around in a few thousand years. Third step, emergency brake. Temporary cooling for as long as it's necessary. That means until the greenhouse gas levels have returned to much lower levels, and the sea ice level is back up. To achieve this and to stop the world from being truly flooded by melting glaciers in Greenland and the Antarctica, we have to start cooling the Arctic and the Antarctica immediately.